Man, let's get on to these fucking picks, man. All right.
Are you doing college picks?
We don't have to necessarily give it its own segment. I mean, I think we all know exactly what way I'm going here.
Are you going Georgia to cover?
I am. Right now, the line is currently at 12. And contrary to popular belief, I think that they purposely set the line to start at 13.5 because they knew that so many people were going to take it because it's just like there's no way that they beat them by 2 touchdowns. I have to imagine that Georgia caps off an undefeated season with like a dominant effort and maybe the best game that they played all year against a TCU team that was very good and it's been a great story. But at the end of the day, they're just not in the same league.
I took UGA minus 13.5, by the way.
Well, I'm just and I just think that they set it up literally for people to hop on it. That's why it's gotten down 1.5 already. And I don't feel any need to go alt or anything. I like Georgia to cover the 12.
Yeah. Hey, I got it there and I bet it. I bet the 13.5 because I didn't care what the market was going to do to the line. Georgia 13.5. I think the game.
And I think it also, I know I was dead fucking wrong last week on the over-under. I also think it goes under. I don't think TCU gets past 20. So because I don't think they get past 20, I just see it going under.
We'll talk that out. Do you want me to put that in the description or you just want me to put the minus 12?
You can put both. Minus 12 under 63.
All right. So, hey, Parlay Pete, we have UGA minus 12 and UGA versus TCU national championship game under 63.
That's the official pick.
All right. Now it's time for Parlay Pete NFL 6-pack.
Well, that's quite the intro, and I do greatly appreciate it. And it won't be our last 6-pack of the year, but of course, it's the final week of the NFL. So let's get into it. We're going to I tried to get as many meaningful games in as possible. Games that kind of will determine something, that actually have meaning to the playoff picture. Unfortunately, they do not have the Bills Patriots lineup, so I won't touch it because it hasn't been put up yet. But that was one of the games that I did want to touch. But we won't be touching it. So we'll just go ahead and get into the ones that we will be touching. We're going to start off with the AFC South Championship game. I am so tempted to take the Jaguars -6 here. -6. Yes, it was -6 here. But I'm just going to touch the over-under. I don't think Josh Dobbs puts any points up, and I think that they stack the box all day against Derrick Henry and that it's a low-scoring game. So we're just going to take under 40 in the Titans at Jaguars AFC South Championship. Next game. This game is actually the only game that has absolutely no meaning to it. But I think that these guys are going to finish the season strong for Steve Wilkes. And if they had won, this would have been a potential NFC South Championship game. Let me get the Carolina Panthers +3.5 at New Orleans. I think close game. I ultimately do think Carolina is going to win, but we'll just take the points because they're giving it to us. Next game. This game does have implications because my belief is that the Bills are going to beat the Patriots. And because they're going to beat the Patriots, this now turns into a playoff game for the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins money line. They have them at -135, and I understand why because Tua is not playing, and then there's a chance that Teddy apparently might not play, or it's going to be like Skylar Thompson. I think that they get it done at the end of the day, and I think that if they don't get it done, Mike McDaniels, this will be a pretty epic collapse, buddy.
Yeah,
8-4 to 8-9. Boy. I don't know. I think a guy like Sean Payton being available, and then a guy like Tom Brady being available, and that little rumor that they had, it would open the door for something like that if they don't win this game and they lose at home to the Jets.
Remember the business school at Michigan is named after the Dolphins owner. It's named after Stephen Ross.
Mm-hmm. Anywho, next we got the final game of the regular season. The Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. I think that it should come as no surprise to anyone here. And kind of like we talked about earlier in the show, Lee, sometimes we got to change our mind on this type of stuff. I don't step in front of Aaron Rodgers on a streak headed into the playoffs, and I won't do it with the Detroit Lions. As much as I would love to be correct on my uh, preseason pick for the playoffs, having the Lions sneak in as that last team, we're going to roll with Go Pack Go and Ron Rodgers on the money line. We're going to take the Green Bay Packers on the money line.
Stroke like A-Rod.
Yep. And then next game, a game that has somewhat of a meaning, I guess, depending on what happens in the Eagles game, which I won't touch because they have the spread at 14, and that makes it sound like Daniel Jones isn't playing. That's what that seems like. That him and like they're going to rest guys that's what that line tells me. That line was 14, so I didn't want to touch it.
Tyrod might be better though. Just throwing that out there.
He might be, but if nobody else is playing, and Philly knows it, I mean, even though that 14 is still really steep.
It may be Kenny Galladay and Tyrod out there, and they might start flinging that thing around the yard.
You think he'll get the 75 catches for the 750? No. Okay. Well, either way, we're going to go with the Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears because Minnesota is playing for something, and more importantly, they need to get that bad taste out of their mouth for that ass whooping they took last week against the Packers. They're playing against a Justin Fields-less Bears team. I'm going to lay the 7.5 because they are still playing for what could be the number 2 seed if San Francisco fucks around and finds out. And then finally, another game that's got somewhat of a meaning, and Bobby Wagner coming out and talking about it today made me kind of want to get on the Baker train one final time.
Come on,
we got the LA Rams at the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to take the Rams plus 7.5 to get the cover as our final regular season pick of this season.
You said plus 7.5?
Plus 7.5. I'm gonna lay that 7.5.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. This is probably the hardest week of these 3. So just for everyone out there, I don't know if you peeped this or noticed this. Lee's 3 is built from Parlay Pete's 6-packs, right? I don't bring you my 3 bets for the week. I take my 3 bets from the 6-pack. And this is not me putting out a disclaimer or nothing. I make my picks on site. We don't talk picks before the show.
No, we don't.
So Lee's 3.
Hove did.
Gotta throw it out there because Hove did these picks. Because we wouldn't have the NFL without Hove.
We wouldn't.
Like I told y'all, I took UGA.
About kneeling?
Huh?
No, when he had that meeting with Roger Goodell and they like focused in on him, he's like, I don't think this is about kneeling. Like, but it was kind of like sarcastically saying, like, I can't believe y'all are like caught up in this. Like,
all right, we gotta move past this. We gotta get the games back going.
Is he on Mount Rushmore for businessmen?
Who, Hove?
Yeah.
Nah, Roger Goodell is, because Roger Goodell, he has lifetime insurance from the NFL, but the players don't. You talk about a scam.
Legend.
He has lifetime access to the NFL's private jet.
Legend.
He gets paid over. You see, Jerry didn't want to pay Roger Goodell.
Legend.
Hold on. He told Kraft, "Don't fuck with me," because that's all about. You're like, hey, hold on. Why are we giving this man all this money? What has he done to get all this money? We make the product. We draft the players. All he do is listen to us and tell the owners like Arthur and what's my man in Carolina?
Tepper.
Hey, Tepper, I don't give a fuck how much money you got. Shut up. Jerry and Robert Kraft run this meeting. And Kroenke, you get to speak when they done.
Right.
And you know the Maras, and they say whatever they want to when they want to. The Steelers, folks, you know, yeah, it's certain teams in the league who just run the league. So all Roger Goodell, I promise you, me and you could go take Roger Goodell's job right now in the league would not lose any money.
It runs itself.
And not to say that Roger Goodell is not doing a good job, but
just that most people could do a good job.
Hey, I'll take Roger's job for $2 million. Just give me the private jet, give me the health care, give me the FaceTime, and let me do a podcast still. Bet, run it.
Done deal. A little bit
All
better
right.
than 450 in Baton Rouge, huh?
Nobody wants to go to Baton Rouge. Not even them niggas who play at LSU.
Well, that's why they get out of there as soon as they can.
3 years and been done. Joe Burrow, 2. Out of here. Weezy out of here. I'm pushing P. All right, let's get the leads 3, man. So when you give me UGA minus 12 and I already like bet them minus 13.5, I got to.
Dogs on top.
I'm gonna take the Dolphins on that money line because I'm a sucker for pain and I'm rooting for them.
Plus, I think, Mike White might be starting, but I was going to say Zach Wilson, Robert Saleh, he apparently hadn't given up on him. So we'll get to see, right?
Vikings are playing something. Justin Fields isn't playing. The Vikings got to cover 7.5, bro. Like,
well, considering the ass whooping that they took last week, and then they still are, like I said, there is a chance that they can get the 2 seed. And not that it matters that much, but I would much rather, if I win my first home playoff game, to have San Francisco come to me as opposed to having to go to them. So
like
especially
because
the third string quarterback.
Yeah, and with the time difference, I think it fucks up. It fucks up San Fran a lot more. No, make that happen. So at least 3 UGA minus 12, Dolphins money line, and Vikings minus 7.5. Man, hey Parlay Pete, guess what?
What?
I'm gonna see you on Saturday.
Yes, you will.
Hey, but hey, do not sign off as we close out this podcast because we're just gonna do some quick onesie twosies. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the show. We had a very long show, but we talked about a lot of stuff.
Record.
Huh?
Say getting close to the record.
Yeah, we're getting close. And here's the sad thing: the whole gang is gonna be together next weekend, and we're not giving y'all any content from that weekend.
Hove did.
Hove did.
We out of here, man. Y'all have a great week. Pod to be out in the morning or in the afternoon. It's not gonna be out in the morning.